Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and in this video I'm going to be showing a complete countdown of the top speeds of all fully upgraded muscle cars. All of these top speed values have been calculated in-game as accurately as possible to the nearest 0.5 of a mile per hour, and for a full explanation of how this was all done, read the description. If you want to know how all vehicles perform in a variety of different classes and formats, check the annotation on the screen or the link in the description for the full playlist of videos, and of course feel free to subscribe for future updates. So first up we have the Chino in 32nd place. Now that's something that I've never ever said before. The Chino gets a top speed of 94.5 miles per hour. Very slow considering this is fully upgraded as well. That is the slowest top speed that we've seen so far during this testing. Now, tied for 30th place, first up we've got the Lost Slam Van, 95.5 miles per hour. You can only get a Lost Slam Van as a respawn vehicle in capture jobs. Therefore, you can't upgrade it in any legitimate means, so that is why the Lost Slam Van is the only fully stock vehicle in this testing. It's not upgraded in any way, and that's why it gets the top speed that it does. Now, in 30th place, also tied with that, is the Chino Custom, slightly quicker than the regular Chino, but still very slow. And then in 29th place ahead of those is the Vergo, 97.5 mile per hour top speed. Again, still pretty slow, you know. These cars aren't really going to be breaking any records anytime soon, and we still haven't got anywhere near that 100 mile per hour barrier, and we're not about to do that anytime soon with the Voodoo in 28th place with a 99.0 mile per hour top speed. So the Voodoo isn't actually the slowest vehicle in the muscle cars class, but the Voodoo Custom, which is the lowrider version of it, is slightly quicker, as you can see here. 100.5 miles per hour. We actually finally get ahead of that 100 mile per hour barrier. 27th place for the Voodoo Custom, which isn't at the back, but it's still very slow. But yeah, it is slightly quicker than the regular Voodoo. Now in 25th place, tied for 25th place, are the two Moonbeams with 102.0 miles per hour. And whilst we see a few of these lower-end muscle cars, I just want to explain a few things. So first of all, the reason that it's taken a reasonable amount of time to get this video up to you guys is because I wanted to wait for the Halloween DLC vehicles, because the Lurcher is actually a muscle car, and there was no point in me releasing this with one car missing, given that it was going to be released in a couple of days, and then have to do another separate top speed updated video for the muscle class. So I figured I would just wait and put all of the vehicles in the muscle cars class in one video. And speaking of all of the vehicles in the muscle cars class, this is actually the largest class in the game at this point. I actually mentioned in the previous video for the sports class that the sports class was the largest with 28 vehicles, and it was at the time. But since we had the addition of all of the lowriders and the Halloween vehicles with the Lurcher, the muscle cars class has got very jam-packed with 32 different vehicles. It is easily the largest class of vehicles in the entire game now, and together with the sports class, that accounts for 50 separate vehicles, so that's huge. Anyway, we've seen a few vehicles all around the same sort of top speed here. You know, we had the Rat Loader and the Picador that were exactly the same. Then we've had the Rat Truck. We've also got the Slam Van here, which is a 108.0 mile per hour top speed. So we're starting to slowly creep up in terms of the top speed values. We're starting to get a little bit quicker. With the Hot Knife again in 20th place, 109.5 miles per hour. Not too bad. You know, these aren't breaking any kind of records or anything, but we are starting to creep up there and get to some respectable top speeds. Now, the Stallion in 18th place, which is tied for 18th place, which is with the vehicle that we'll see next, 110 mile per hour, so only 0.5 of a mile per hour quicker than the Hot Knife, and it's tied with actually the Blade. So the Blade is very good around a track because it has incredible acceleration. But in terms of top speed, it does have a very big weakness, and that's what you can see here. Only 18th place in the muscle cars class. There's a lot of cars that are still quicker than it. Now the Sabre Turbo just ahead of that is 110.5 miles per hour. A few of the cars that we're seeing here are quite good around a circuit from the previous testing that we've done when I've been taking them around a track and getting lap times for them. They don't get too bad lap times, but it's more about the acceleration and the traction that they have that is more important to overall lap time. Top speed doesn't really have that much of an effect. And as you can see here, you know, in terms of the top speed values, they are quite different to some of these cars, and we've got some cars that are near the top end of the regular lap times section that don't have really very impressive top speeds at all, like the Blade, the Sabre Turbo. The Faction and the Faction Custom tied for 15th place. They are both exactly the same. as you might expect, with 111 miles per hour. Then 1 mile per hour ahead of that, we've got a decent showing there from the Vigero as well in 14th place. A lot of these vehicles here are also very, very close in terms of top speeds, as you've probably been noticing from the Slam Van with 108 miles per hour. We've had quite a lot of cars all in this range where we've had very, very close top speeds. 13th place now for the Dukes, and again the Dukes is another one of those that's very good in terms of lap time around a track, but its top speed is its weakness, 112.5 miles per hour, same with the Blade. And then we've got a 4-way tie for 9th place. First up we've got the Buccaneer as you might expect, next up we've got the Buccaneer Custom. Then we've also got the Gauntlet and the Phoenix. So the Buccaneer Custom, the Gauntlet and the Phoenix all have a top speed of 113 miles per hour. And you can kind of get an idea of what I was saying by having a lot of cars in this mid-pack of the muscle cars class that all have very, very similar lap times, top speeds indeed. So yeah, you know, there's nothing really special about any of these vehicles. A lot of them aren't that great around a track either. For example, the Gauntlet is quite low down, but in terms of top speed, it's pretty average at this point for the muscle cars class. A lot of, as I've mentioned, a lot of muscle cars are around this area, but closer to the end of the video, closer to the top end of the muscle cars class, we are going to see some big jumps in terms of top speed. So keep an eye out for that. Now in 8th place we have the Stallion Race Car. These are the stock vehicles. They're available in the stock car races, but they are fully upgraded. 113.5 miles per hour. These are only available in single player. You can't get them online under normal circumstances. And then just ahead of that, tied for 6th place, is the Lurcher. So the Lurcher did actually really well. It didn't do that great around the circuit in terms of the lap time that it got, but a 114 mile per hour top speed is very, very respectable, and it's obviously tied for 6th place with the Coquette Blackfin. The Coquette Blackfin, with again 114 mile per hour top speed, is probably the best all-round muscle car in terms of ease of use and trying to get it around a circuit. It's also got a very respectable top speed as well. Now top 5, and in 5th place we have the Duke of Death, 0.5 mile per hour quicker than the Coquette Blackfin and the Stallion Race Car. The Duke of Death has a very, very high drag coefficient, and that's why it's where it is, despite having quite a lot of engine power. 4th place now we've got the Gauntlet Race Car. So both the Stallion Race Car and the Gauntlet Race Car have improved significantly on their non-race car variants. Again, only available in single player, but 115.5 mile per hour top speed. And in the top 3, 3rd place is the Ruiner. Very, very respectable top speed with a 118.5 mile per hour top speed there. Big jump from what we've just seen, and yeah, the Ruiner's done very well to get up into 3rd place here. It's got very good top speed. 2nd place is, as you might expect, the Dominator. That was always going to be really up here. The Dominator is very good in the straight line, 120.5 mile per hour top speed. That is on the level of the top sports cars, but ultimately in 1st place we have the Dominator race car. This thing is absolutely insane. 124.5 mile per hour top speed. That is only 0.5 of a mile per hour slower than the Adder. That is quicker than every single sports car in the game. That is quicker than every supercar in the game except the Adder. The Dominator race car is a monster in a straight line, and it's only the 2nd vehicle that we've seen throughout the course of this testing so far that breaks that 200 km/h barrier. Absolutely incredible, and we've got an example here, like I always do at the end of these videos, just showing you how these all compare with each other. The Dominator race car in the top left, all the way down to the Chino in the bottom right. As usual, they're all synced up to exit the tunnel at exactly the same time, and you will see some big differences throughout this comparison, because this is probably the biggest spread that we're probably going to have in terms of top speed throughout the course of this testing. The muscle cars class is very diverse, it's got a lot of vehicles, and going from Adder levels of top speed all the way down to, you know, the slowest that we've ever seen, that's pretty amazing and pretty incredible. So let me know all your thoughts down below. You know, did you expect that obviously I would imagine that a lot of us knew that the Dominators would be at the top, but did we really expect that the race car version of the Dominator would be matching the Adder in terms of top speed and beating out everything else? Next up is going to be the Sports Classics, which will be interesting to see because some of those are very quick in a straight line, especially the Z-Type. It'll be interesting to see exactly what that manages to get in this controlled testing. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and share it around, and feel free to subscribe if you are new for more testing like this. I'll be doing all of the classes. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all of your support as always, and I'll see you next time.